Welcome to the month of June, 30 days all about gin, shining a spotlight on craft-made Canadian. Fun facts and proper tastings, live cocktails Friday afternoons. Discover 14 different brands and be influenced by me. Some for roll. That's right, I'm a song for roll.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Gin Cocktail Day. Yes, folks, Fridays during my month of June, right, that's my 30-day salute to gin, I'm going to be making easy adult beverage cocktails using the gins that I've showcased and tasted the Monday to Thursday prior, right? So these four here. Now on this fourth day of June, I'll be preparing 4 different drinks, one for each of the styles of the 4 gins that I tasted this week. Now, just a gentle reminder to those tuning in, if you are not yet of legal age to purchase, consume, or handle alcohol where you live, it's now time to tune out. Now, if you've missed any of my video posts so far, no worries. You can find them easily and also share them easily by checking out my Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube pages. Just search for Somm for All, S-O-M-M, number 4, A-L-L, and you'll be all set. So for today's cocktail showcase, I'm pre-recording this event. However, starting next Friday, the 11th day of June, Cocktail Fridays will be live on Instagram on my Somm for All page. So mark your calendars. And for those of you who have been following along with June so far, you already know that gin has a very deep and very rich history. And as such, the gin cocktails that I'm going to be making have been around for literally hundreds of years. You know, the drinks that I'm making, they do go way, way back. And I thought it would be fun to not only try these, but to also share them with you. I haven't had these before, folks. So this is going to be, you know, this is real-time tasting with Somm for All. And truthfully, you know, cocktails of today, there's nothing wrong with a Negroni and or a good gin and tonic, but there's so much more that can be done with gin, as we're going to find out. So the first drink, first up, is the John Collins, right? A drink created by a waiter of the same name back in the 1830s in London, and what eventually became known as Tom Collins over here in North America. Now for this variation, I'm going to be using a London Dry style of gin, right? The 6 O'Clock brand from the UK that was showcased on June 2nd. Very easy drink. Here's how we make it. We take a shaker that has ice in it. We're going to add 50 milliliters of the dry gin. Okay, so 50 mLs. Next up is 20 milliliters of fresh lemon juice. And there we go. And 25 milliliters now of simple syrup. Boom. Put the cap on. We're going to give everything a shake. Riveting, 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 riveting television. All right, well, we gave that a shake. That comes off nice. I'm going to take out our strainer, and we're going to fill it in a glass. Now, we're going to put some ice in this glass first. This is why I only play a bartender on TV. There we go. So ice in the glass. Take our strainer. We take our beverage. And we're going to strain that in there like so. Get all that goodness out. All right. I'm going to dump that out. Save that for later on. Now, we're going to add 90 milliliters. 90 milliliters. Helps if I take it out of the fridge. Of club soda. So 90 mLs of club soda. And a sploosh more for good measure. Put that over here. Give it a little stir. And lastly, we're going to garnish this now with an orange slice. I went with a blood orange, nice and colorful, and a maraschino cherry. One more little stir. Mixy mix, nicey nice. And there you have it. The John Collins. Right? Let's have a little taste. Nice, light, crisp. The citrus notes of the gin comes through. A little bit of orange in there is nice. You can taste just a little bit of sweetness with the maraschino cherry. Simple syrup as well, plays nice. That could be a summer sipper for me this year. I like that. All right. So, time for cocktail number 2. And we're going with the Marguerite. Yes, not just one of my cousin's names, but also this drink has been considered as a bit of a precursor to the modern day martini, as this one dates way back to the 1890s. So, we're going to start by taking 60 milliliters of Plymouth style gin. We're going to throw it into a container. So 60 milliliters of Plymouth gin. Then we're going to take 30 milliliters of French vermouth, right? French vermouth, that's the dry white vermouth out there. I'm going to put that in there. We're going to add some ice. We're going to give it a stir. Alrighty. Now we're going to take a pre-chilled cocktail glass and we're going to strain this right in. Then we're going to take a little lemon wedge, which I just happen to have nice and handy right here. We're going to put it in the glass this time. And we're all set. Cheers. See, that's okay. I don't mind that. Sometimes with martinis, and fun fact, in the old days, when it was a martini, it was always gin. There was no vodka martini. That's a modern day thing. But sometimes with a gin martini, you know, it can be a little bitey depending on the type of gin you have and a little boozy. So what I like is that vermouth kind of takes things down a little bit. And the Plymouth style of gin, if you followed along on June 2nd, you'll know some of the flavors and aromas that are in the Plymouth style. That plays really nice. That plays really nice. The lemon is very nice in there. All right, cocktail number 2. A little bit of water, cleanse the palate. We continue to move right along and we come to cocktail number 3. And again, we're going to make another kind of martini precursor, but this time we're going to use Old Tom Gin, right? Old Tom Gin. We talked about him yesterday. So the name of this cocktail, and this dates back a long time, this is called the Martinez. So, well, first off, we're going to take a tall mixing glass, and then we're going to add some ice. Where's my trusty ice? Bit more ice. And to this, we're going to take 60 milliliters of Old Tom gin, right? So 60 mLs of Old Tom. Hi, Tom. Then we're going to take 20 milliliters, this time of sweet vermouth, right? The red one. So we're going to have 20 mLs of that. Then we're going to take 5 milliliters of maraschino cherry liqueur. I know we're getting fancy here, but this is as highbrow as it gets, folks. So 5 milliliters of maraschino cherry liqueur. And we're going to add 1 dash of bitters. You choose your favorite type of bitters. Right, I'm going with Dillon's here, Canadian made. You like Angostura, you like something else, fill your boots. Okay, so I'm going to take all that in there. Then we're going to stir this well, nice and well. Okay. We're going to strain it, right? Lots of straining, but that's okay. Oh, can't strain it from there, so we'll have to do old school. I'm going to strain it into another martini glass. Nice and careful, nice and careful. You know, it's pre-recorded, folks, but might as well be live because I haven't gone through a dry run on this. It's all part of the authenticity of Somm for All. There we go. And perfect. So that goes over there. That goes over there. These guys go over here. The Bernese will get those, get a little drunk, that's okay. All right, it's not really okay. He won't get drunk. I threw him in the sink. Okay, so just before we finish that, we take a little bit of lemon peel. We rub the rim like so. Make sure your hands are clean, of course. Give it a little twist. Pop it right in. And salud. It's got some heft on it. It does scream old time to me. Now, look, I'm not a bartender. I only play one on Some for All TV. I am sure that the very crafty and the very well-schooled and well-versed mixologists that are out there will do a much better job of this than I will. But even for someone at home, this has some oomph to it. This is all right. I don't mind it. It almost reminds me a little bit of a Manhattan, but it's not as sweet and it's not as hefty. You don't have to play with that one. I didn't mind that at all. All right. Lastly, cocktail number 4, right? So for our 4th cocktail, we're going back in time once again, and we're going to be making a Sloe Gin Fizz. But we're not going to be all fancy pants with egg whites and all that jazz. This is old school. So we're going to take a cocktail shaker, right? Our cocktail shaker from before. We're going to add some ice to it. Shocker. All right, so take some ice. We're going to add 45 milliliters of our Sloe Gin, right? We talked about Sloe Gin yesterday and what Sloe is and how it's made. Then we're going to take 30 milliliters of fresh lemon juice. And fresh is the key thing to good cocktails, folks. That much I do know. So 30 milliliters of fresh lemon juice, and then we're going to take 20 milliliters of simple syrup. Simple syrup, equal parts sugar and water. Make it at home, real easy. Take that. Now, we're going to put the lid on, and that's the wrong lid. We're going to put the lid on, and we're going to give it a shake. Alrighty. So we give that a shaky shake. We take a highball glass. We take the strainer that this time fits. And we're going to put this, we're just going to do this over the sink in case there's any drippage. So far we're good. Going to get all that goodness right out of there. Right? Then we're going to top it now with club soda. And for this, we need, you just need to use your best judgment. It says to top it, so because it's slow, I think you probably want to go about 3/4 of the way up with club soda. And I wouldn't use a flavored club soda. Keep it nice and clean. Keep it simple. Okay. So we take this, and if you want to add a maraschino cherry, if you want to add a lemon, go right ahead. I'm not. I'm going to keep it straight up, nice and fresh, and going for a taste. That's very nice. That's actually really nice. So Sloe Gin, we talked about that yesterday. It has some sweetness on it, but when you add the club soda and you add that lemon juice, even though there's simple syrup in there, it all really plays. It's got a nice light lift. It's almost like a cordial is what comes to mind. I would throw a fresh strawberry in there. That's all right. Actually, I'm going to keep that over here. So just a little showcase. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there you have it. 4 old school, old time, easy to make gin cocktails. You just watch me do it. If I can do it, you can do it. For each one of these, I used a different style of gin. And if you do get creative and you get inspired or gin-spired, and you do want to try any of these recipes at home, make sure to drop me a line and let me know what you think. Also, don't be shy to share what your favorite gin cocktail recipe is. Drop me a line, let me know. So tomorrow, I'm going to be sharing some food ideas because it's going to be Saturday, and that's food pairing ideas with gin. And yes, folks, gin can be very food friendly. So I'll be sharing some food ideas to pair with gin. Be sure to check those out. And on Sunday, I'm going to be talking about some of the lesser known botanicals that are often used in making gin. So, what they are and what they add to it and all that good stuff. And don't forget, starting Monday, the 7th day of June, my all-Canadian lineup begins, where over the remaining days of June, I'll be showcasing and tasting 14 made-in-Canada craft gins. Some truly incredible approaches that folks are taking with gin, and overall some incredible gins. So you're not going to want to miss any of it. Be sure to tune in. Until next time, happy Friday. Stay safe out there. Be well. And cheers from Song for All.